Welcome to Middle Ground Media, where news is delivered without an agenda. In today's coverage, Segment 1, Macron's statement on Western troops in Ukraine. French President Emmanuel Macron recently suggested that the deployment of Western troops on the ground in Ukraine is not off the table, marking a significant moment in the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. During a press conference following a meeting with European leaders in Paris, Macron emphasized the West's commitment to ensuring Russia does not win the war. Despite the lack of current consensus on deploying troops, Macron's comments introduce a degree of strategic ambiguity into the West's military strategy. The meeting, attended by leaders such as German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and Poland's President Andrzej Duda, highlighted differing opinions on the matter. Poland's president expressed hopes for substantial ammunition shipments to Ukraine as the most immediate need. Macron's call for European unity against Russian aggression underscores the increasing tension and the West's determination to support Ukraine amid escalating conflicts. Segment 2, Kremlin's response to NATO ground intervention. The Kremlin issued a stern warning against any NATO ground intervention in Ukraine following President Macron's open discussion about the possibility. This statement from the Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, emphasizes the high stakes involved in escalating military involvement in Ukraine, potentially leading to a direct clash between NATO and Russian forces. European leaders and NATO officials quickly distanced themselves from the notion of deploying ground troops, underscoring the complexities of supporting Ukraine while avoiding a direct military confrontation with Russia. France later clarified that Macron's comments were aimed at exploring new actions to support Ukraine without explicitly endorsing ground troop deployment. This episode highlights the delicate balance of providing aid to Ukraine and the risks of further provoking Russia. Segment 3, Russia's military strategy in Ukraine. Russia's military strategy in Ukraine, particularly in the eastern city of Avdiivka, showcases a willingness to absorb significant losses to achieve tactical gains. This approach, characterized by the deployment of smaller infantry units and increased airstrikes, has allowed Russian forces to make gradual advancements despite high casualty rates. The willingness to sustain heavy losses reflects a distinct Russian military ethos, contrasting sharply with Western sensibilities. The battles for Avdiivka, Bakhmut, and Marinka highlight the intense human cost of Russia's military operations. Analysts note that Moscow's objectives in the Donbass region, motivated by a desire to present a victory to the Russian populace, drive its acceptance of such losses. The situation underscores the enduring and brutal nature of the conflict, as both sides prepare for prolonged engagements. Segment 4, Hamas rejects ceasefire proposal. Hamas officials have rejected a recent ceasefire proposal, dampening hopes for an imminent end to the conflict with Israel. Despite President Biden's optimistic timeline for a ceasefire, Hamas's stance underscores the challenges in negotiating peace. The group's demands, including a long-term ceasefire and the release of Palestinians imprisoned for terrorism, remain significant obstacles. Qatar, a key mediator, expressed caution regarding the prospects for an agreement. The continued hostilities and rising death toll in Gaza have intensified international calls for a resolution. However, Hamas's rejection and Israel's objectives suggest a complex path forward, highlighting the deep-seated issues at the heart of the conflict. Segment 5, Michigan Democrats and Biden's Middle East policy. Michigan Democrats express skepticism about President Biden's electoral prospects in the upcoming primary, amidst criticism of his handling of the Israel-Hamas war. Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Representative Debbie Dingell highlighted the state's diverse community's concerns, reflecting broader divisions within the Democratic Party. The push from progressives, including Representative Rashida Tlaib, for voters to express discontent through uncommitted votes underscores the challenge Biden faces in uniting his base. The debate highlights the delicate balance of addressing foreign policy crises while maintaining domestic political support, especially in pivotal states like Michigan. Segment 6, Violence in Mexican Politics. The recent killings of two mayoral candidates in Maravacio, Mexico, underscore the country's escalating political violence and the influence of drug cartels. The deaths of Armando Perez and Miguel Angel Zavala signal a worrying trend as Mexico approaches its most significant elections. The involvement of organized crime in local politics, particularly in regions like Michoacán, poses a severe challenge to the democratic process. These incidents reflect the broader issue of security and governance in Mexico, where cartels exert considerable influence over local communities and political outcomes. Segment 7: Rhino poaching increase in South Africa. South Africa reports a concerning rise in rhino poaching, with 499 rhinos killed in 2023. The increase highlights ongoing conservation challenges and the demand for rhino horns in East Asian markets. Efforts to protect these critically endangered species face significant obstacles, including sophisticated poaching operations and international criminal syndicates. The South African government's response and international cooperation will be crucial in addressing this wildlife crisis and ensuring the survival of rhinos. Segment 8: Qin Gang's resignation from Chinese legislature. Former Chinese Foreign Minister Qin Gang's resignation from the national legislature marks another chapter in his mysterious disappearance from the public eye. Qin's abrupt departure from his post and subsequent absence have fueled speculation about internal political dynamics within China's ruling Communist Party. The lack of official information on Qin's status reflects the opaque nature of Chinese politics and the potential implications for China's foreign policy and domestic stability. This development adds to the intrigue surrounding high-level political maneuvers in Beijing, where political dissent is tightly controlled. Thank you for tuning into Middle Ground Media. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more unbiased news. Join us again tomorrow for your daily dose of truth and clarity.